Hello everyone, good morning, welcome to Solo Survivor. Azir test which is test number 7, Combined Competitive Preliminary 2026 or General Studies or paper. Mock test dibole goi asu. Okay, question number 1. With reference to the museums of Soraitiu, which was recently inscribed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, consider the following statements. They represent the Mount Varial system of the Ahom dynasty. Yes. The site is located at the foothills of the Patkarans. Yes. Soraitu was the first permanent capital of the Ahom kingdom. Sukapha. Yes, all these are correct. That is D. Yes, I did correct. Soraitu Maiden became 43rd UNESCO World Heritage Site. Cultural and under the cultural category. 1253 established Soraitu by Sukapha. Question number 2. Consider the following pairs of GI tagged products of Assam in the category Kajanimu, agriculture. Yes. Mughal silk handicraft, yes. Jurima wine, food stuff. Kamosa, textile. Yes, all are correct. All 4. Yes, D. Pair counting from it, APSC categorized. Jodima or Dimasa community was the first traditional brew in the northeast to get a GI first traditional brew, that is Jodima Dimasa tribe. 3. The Ahom Mughal Treaty of Kilazari Khat 1663 was signed following with invasion of Mir Jumla, invasion of Ramshin. Kilazari Khat Karkar Mazab That is invasion of Mansur Khan, invasion of Turbuk Khan. Mir Jumla লগতে হৈছিলে Mir Jumla হ'ব Mir Jumla or Ram Singh এই দুটাৰ ভিতৰতে যিকোনো এটা আছিলে ন Mir Jumla That is A. Yes, A, correct. Mir Jumla occupied Gorgao. Mir Jumla occupied Gorgao. King Jayadhar Singh was forced to sign this humiliating treaty. The Jayadhar Singh, the Hamza had to share territory from Guwahati to the Bornodi River, and the PMC were indemnity from Guwahati to Bornodi River. In the context of the Indian Constitution, the doctrine of pit and substance is often applied to the pit and doctrine of pit and substance. Determine the validity of a law when it encroaches upon a subject in another list. Protect the fundamental rights during a national emergency. Resolve conflicts between the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Interpret the preamble as a part of the basic structure. Under the Indian Constitution, the doctrine of pit and substance is often applied to encroaches upon in another list. Protect the fundamental rights. National emergency. Resolve conflicts between Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Interpret the preamble as a part of basic structure. Determine the validity of a law. when crosses subject under list. B. Doctrine of beat and substance. That is B. Hobo lagi hole hole no. That is A. A correct answer to incorrect hole. The doctrine determines the validity of a law when it encroaches upon a subject in another list. Explanation used primarily in cases related to Article 246, distribution of legislative powers. It means if the substance of a law falls within the legislature's jurisdiction, it is valid when if it incidentally touches upon a subject in another list. With reference to the Brahmaputra River ecology, the dolphin census 25 indicates the Ganges River dolphin is found in which of the following tributaries? Kolsi River, Savansiri, I don't know. Ganges dolphin, Thansiri, I don't know, but Kolsi River, that is correct. Thansiri and Savansiri, Ganges dolphin, I don't know. One is correct, 1 and 2, 1, 2, 3. Thansiri and so what is the power like, you know? All hobo like a day to Kulsito Zano Geneva, Kulsit was to him. To Savansiri or Thansiri, Varat Panana Pam. Papa like it home. Only one delay to all due, all due holy hall. B 1 and 2. Kulsi and Savansiri. Okay. Kulsi or Savansiri, Thansiri, one as a. Oh my god. Sisu Ganges River dolphin is found in the mainstem of the Brahmaputra, and certain major tributaries. The Kolsi River is famous for its resident dolphin population. They are also found in the Suvansiri, but are rarely sighted in the smaller place flat prone Tanjiri. Which of the following describes the Laffer curve in economics? Laffer curve in economics. The relationship between inflation and unemployment. The relationship between tax rates and tax revenue. The distribution of income inequality in a country. The relationship between economic growth and environmental degradation. Laffer curve मध्ये relationship between inflation and unemployment. Between tax rates and tax revenue, the distribution that is within the country. Between economic growth and economic degradation. To A हो लगे A. No, B here. The relationship between tax rates and tax revenue. Incorrect way one. Tax rate and tax revenue. Laffer curve relationship between tax rate and tax revenue. Tax rate and tax revenue. The Laffer curve suggests that there is an optimal tax rate that maximizes total government tax rate revenue. That where increasing taxes actually decreases revenue because it discourages work and investment. Consider the four estimates regarding Mission Basundhara 3.0. It aims to provide land paths to education institutions and religious organizations and trusts. It introduces Digi token for land record verification. If Prakash own the right to fair compensation for land records for national highways. It focuses on the right to fair compensation for land acquired for national highways. Mission Basundhara national highway logo to kotha nai. This is token for land record. 1 and 2 only. B. Only one. Negative we got both kita. Only one is correct in here. This is dokanor kothan nai. Mission Bosundhara 3.0 25-26 specifically targets land rights for indigenous people, institutions, and reclamation of such lands. Sometimes 2 and 3 are fictitious or relatable to other departments. And it's AI National Highway Authority of India. The pike system was organized in the gods and cows by which king pike system, that is Pratap Singha, that is B. Momai Tamale Borburwa under Pratap Singha. Oh, Momai Tamale Borburwa asile no. We call বহুত কেটা ফুল. While Sungmung storied expansion, it was Momai Tamale Borburwa, the first Borburwa, who systematically codified the pike system, making it the bedrock of Ahom administration and military. Okay, with Ahom king, who is Ahmad the Fallen, is the greatest wetland in Assam. Greatest wetland in Assam, that is Sonbil, of course. B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Somewhere in Korimganj, yes. Korimganj district, Sonbil is the largest wetland in Assam and the second largest seasonal wetland in Asia. Diprobili is the only Ramsar site, but Sonbil is larger in terms of area. The green hydrogen mission of India aims to achieve which of the following by 2030? Production capacity of at least 5 MMT, 5 million metric ton per annum. Addition of about 225 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity. Decarbonization of the industrial, transport, and energy sectors. All three over there. All three D is the whole. All three D. Yes, this is the correct answer. National Green Hydrogen Mission. Assam is also setting up its first green hydrogen plant in Jorhat. Green hydrogen plant in Jorhat. Consider full statements regarding my common drainage scheme introduced in Assam. It is a financial assistance scheme aimed at ending child marriage by incentivizing girl students to pursue higher education. That is monthly spent. Stipends are provided to girls from higher secondary level up to post-graduation. The Duraba Minister of Emily is also eligible for this scheme. So universal coverage, no. There is only 1 and 2. Correct. 1 and 2A. Yes. The scams empower girls and delay marriage. However, daughters of ministers, MLS, MPs are explicitly excluded from the eligibility criteria to focus benefits on the needy. With reference to the Treaty of Majuli 1563, which of the following is correct? It was signed between the Ahoms and the Mughals. Treaty of Majuli, Ahom and Mughals. Yes, Ahom, Treaty of Majuli. Ahom and Mughal, or Ahom and Kos? It was signed between Ahom King, Kos King Narana and Ahoms, not Majo. Mughal logot nohoy. Kos and Ahom. It marked the end of the Mohammedan rebellion. No, Mohammedan rebellion logot kotha nahi. It established the boundary between British and Burmese. No, only B. Only B, yes. Only B. It was signed between Ahoms and Kos King Narana. Explanation: following the invasion by General Silla with the Ahom King Suklengmung. Ahom King Suklengmung, Gorgai Raja, was forced to sign this treaty. The Ahoms had to acknowledge Kos sovereignty and give up a large portion of their kingdom west in the Bornodi. In the context of environment, what does the Montreal Protocol 1987 regulate? Um, this is emissions of greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, transmission boundary, hazardous waste substances that deplete the ozone layer. As Montreal Protocol is about depletion of ozone layer. Okay, my God. Let us see. Okay, more. Question number 14. Consider the following pairs of Satra and their founders. Auniyati Satra, Niranjan Deva, Dakshinpad Satra, Pamsi Gopal Deva, Goromur Satra, Jayahari Deva. এইটো এটাও নাজানো কিন্তু মই কি কৰিম which of the five pairs are correctly matched question no গোটেইকেইটাই দিম গোটেইকেইটাই correctly matched বুলি দি দিম হলে হল নহলে নাই only two no only three all three দি দিম ফুল হল only two দিয়া ভাল আছিলে নেগেটিভ পালো একো নাই আউনীআটী সত্ৰ নিৰঞ্জন দেৱা গৰমৰ সত্ৰ জয়হৰি দেৱা আৰু ইনকাৰেক্ট দক্ষিণপাট সত্ৰটো ফাউণ্ডেড বাই বনমালী দেৱা আৰু ইপিনে বংশী গোপাল দেৱা was instrumental in establishing several sutras but not Dakshinpad. Okay. Question 15. PM Divine scheme recently in the news is specifically meant for which region? PM Divine aspirational districts of central India, the northeastern region, the coastal region, development of northeastern development with the Prime Minister. Northeastern region South India border. They do direct B over to B. Yes, B to correct. The PM Divine Development Northeast region is a 100% central funding scheme, aimed at funding instrument, infrastructure and social development projects in the new Northeast states. Question 16. Which of the following constitutional provisions can be amended by a simple majority of the Parliament? The Parliament. Admission or establishment of new states. Directive principles of state policy. Which of the following constitutional provisions can be amended by a simple majority of the Parliament? Simple majority lage Parliament. Admission or establishment of new states. Directive principles of state policy. Rules of procedure in Parliament. Election of the President and its manner. Simple majority. Question to কেনেকুৱা বিচাৰিছে select the correct answer no 1 2 1 3 simple majority যিকোনো দুটা বা তিনিটা simple majority and TPSP 20 rules new states election of the president and its manner I don't know attempt কৰিম নে নকৰিম লাগি আছে তো attempt নকৰো দিয়া 1 and 3 1 and 3 simple কি লাগে majority
amendment or establishment of new states. 3 rules of procedure in parliament. Okay, 2 item no establishment of new states. Article 2 does and the rules of procedure are simple majority items. The PSP requires a special majority. Article 368 the PSP. And the election of the president requires a special majority. Election of president plus ratification by half of the states. Ratification by half of the states. Question 17. The term base erosion and profit shifting. Base erosion and simple shifting often mentioned in the context of the Indian economy refers to the degradation of soil quality in agricultural belts. Tax planning strategies used by MNCs to shift profits to low tax jurisdiction. The rationale of the capital base of public sector banks. The shifting of industrial manufacturing from India to Southeast Asia to B over B. B over. Yes, B is the correct answer. Tax planning strategies used by MNCs to shift multinational companies to shift profits to low tax jurisdictions. BPS refers to tax avoidance strategies that exploit gaps and mismatches in tax rules to artificially shift profits to low or no tax locations. The OECD G20 led a project to tackle this. Question 18. Who was the first recipient of the Assam Vaibhav Award, highest civilian award? Tupan Soikia Ratan Tata, highest civilian award of the government of Assam. Assam Vaibhav Himadas Lavli Nego Hai. প্রথম অসম বৈভৱ কোনে পালে? ৰতন টাটা পাইছে, হিমা দাসটো পোৱা নাই। লাভলীনা বৰগোহাঁই, তপন শইকীয়া, ডক্টৰ তপন শইকীয়া। এইটো ৰতন টাটাই হ'ব লাগে। ৰতন টাটাই দ্বিতীয় হ'লে হ'ল, নহ'লে নাই। য়েছ, ৰতন টাটাই হ'ল। ৰতন টাটাই পাইছে। Ratan Tata was first recipient of 2021 for his contribution to cancer care in Assam cancer care. Dr. Tapan Soikia received in 2022. Tapan Soikia paise 22 paise. Ratan Tata 21. Okay. Which refers to Hargila Greater Adjacent Stock. It is classified as endangered on the IUCN red list. Endangered no, critically endangered. Hargila critically over. Assam is home to the largest population of this species in the world. It is primarily a predator that feeds on live fish in deep waters. Deep waters. Eman deep water to know how. Kiniko hobo to correct answer to. Deep water no hobo. Deep water boli go pare. IUCN only the endangered only to largest population in the world. Ito hobo lagi. Two correct hobo. Deep water na thake. Only 2 hobo no hole. It is primarily a predator. It feeds on live fish in deep water. Deep rivers. Oh, ito no hoy. ৰিভাৰ্ছ কৈছে, এইটো নহ'ব, এইটো যাব, কাটা যাব, টুটো নহয়, 1 and 3 হ'ব নেকি? অ' 3টো নহয়, 3 দুটা নহয়, তেতিয়াহ'লে 1 2 endangered on the IUCN 1 and 2. Endangered na critically endangered? এইটো A হ'ব দে, yes, correct answer. মানে critically endangered নহয় আৰু endangered no hargilla. Hargilla is primarily a scavenger, often found in garbage dumps or wetlands, feeding on carrion and scraps, which is why it plays a vital role in the ecosystem. Okay, scavenger primarily. The Butterghat uprising 1894 in APSC primarily against Cunningham circular garden. It imposed by the British Highland Revenue. It B is the correct answer. Imposed the high rate of land revenue imposed by the British, known as the Jallianwala Bagh was Assam. The Butterghat Dorang district uprising saw peasants protesting against the enhanced land taxes. British troops opened fire, killing scores of unarmed farmers on January 28, 1894. Okay. Question 21 with reference to the Jimmy community, which recently celebrated the Hegangi festival in Dimahasau. Consider the following statements. Hegangi festival Jimmy community celebrate. Hegangi is essentially a post-harvest Thanksgiving ritual. Hegangi Hobapare. The Jimmy people are a sub-branch of the Jiliangrong Naga group. Dimahasau. Hobapare. The festival is traditionally celebrated across the Barak Valley district of Assam. Barak Valley district away. Okay, correct. All three correct. All three no. Only 1 and 2, 3 2 no. Okay, itu wrong hole. Mane celebrated across the Barak Valley district of Assam. Barak Valley district tamne celebrate nokore. Itu Barak Valley purne nokore. Barak Valley to beleg, Dimahasau to Dimahasau. Barak Valley to beleg ipini. Hegangi festival is a major annual event for the Jimmy community, a branch of the Jiliangrong Nagas. It is celebrated with fervor in Dimahasau, not primarily in the Barak Valley. It is a Thanksgiving ritual following the harvest season. Okay. Consider the following pairs of modern Assam history and their descriptions. Planter Ras, modern Assam history. Their descriptions. Planter Ras, a period of colonial dominance by British tea plantation owners. Modern Assam history. Period of colonial dominance by British tea plantation owners. Hobapare. Cunningham Circular 1930 colonial order prohibiting students from participating in politics. Yes. Assam Chhatra Sanmilan, the first student organization of Assam, founded in 1916. How many of the pairs are correctly matched? Assam Chhatra Sanmilan 1906 চনত 1916 চনতো অসম সাহিত্য সভা গঠন হৈছিল। 1916 হৈছিল নে নাই? 17 million. Ito 1 and 2 to correct. All 3 dimniki. Akam 17 million. Nishkun no so na isle niki. Only 2 dimpi. All 3 isle. Ko ticket isle. Equal. The Cunningham Circular was a major catalyst for the civil disobedience movement in Assam, leading students to quit government schools to establish national schools. Okay, national school national. 23. The Aravali Judgment passed by the Supreme Court in late 2025 redefined the term hills for regulatory purposes. In the context of the Northeast, why is this judgment significant? Redefined the terms hills for regulatory purposes in the context of the Northeast, why this judgment significant? It classifies all land forms above 100 meters as hills, impacting mining regulations in the Karbi region. It mandates the removal of all tea gardens from hill terrains. It allows for the construction of mega dams in the Dibang Valley with an environmental clearance. It exempts the Northeast from the Forest Conservation Act. To get the answers, no. In this context, the Northeast, why is this assessment significant? Kyo mana Koto pornography Northeast Georgia's corner. It classifies all land forms meters as hills, affecting mining regulations in the Carving Along region. Yes, the correct answer. It classifies all forms from above 100 meters as hills, impacting mining regulations in the Carving Along region. And Supreme Court defines hills as landforms rising at least 100 meters in Assam and in the Northeast. In Assam and Northeast, this has massive implications for environmental impact assessments and mining. Mining permits in districts like Karbi and Dimasha. Okay, ito kumotoy isi naman. 24. In the context of Indian geography, the Boreal Range serves as a crucial watershed between Boreal Range, the Brahmaputra and the Barak river systems. Ito Boreal Range, Brahmaputra or Barak, ito that is A. Is the correct answer here. Well, this is the highest hill range in Assam. It's the Brahmaputra Valley from the Barak Valley, acting as a natural drainage divide. Okay. With reference to agriculture in Assam, refer what is TS38 T variety of a new variety of pest-resistant tea plant, a climate-resilient repressed Toria variety popular in Kamrup district, a specified drone used for food monitoring in Majuli, digital portal to direct the auction into yes. Sorry, correct answer to P. A climate resilient rapeseed Toria variety popular in Kamrup district. TS38 is a high-yield climate resilient variety of rapeseed mustard Turia. This is Turia. As of early 2026, it has led to a bumper season in districts like Kamrup due to its synergy with local weather patterns. Okay, need to pull it. TS32 is a mustard variety, high yield mustard climate resilient variety of rapeseed or mustard Turia. Bahurio desert hybrid high yield climate resilient variety of rapeseed mustard Turia. Kamrup district popular which article of Indian Constitution provides for the delimitation commission to find the boundaries of constituencies. Article 123. Delimitation commission to define the boundaries of constituencies. I don't know. 110 did do hole nahi. The B hai 82 hai. 82 hai asli. Delimitation commission or 82. The Article 82, the Parliament enacts a delimitation act after every census. The President then appoints the delimitation commission to ensure equal representation based on popular changes. The Maguri Motapung Bill, which was in the news for celebration meets conservation in January 2026, is located in West District. Maguri Motapung Bill, Dibrugarh Tinsukia Sibsagar, Jorhat. Maguri Motapung Bill. Jorhat de do hole nahi. Tinsukia dase. Abna kenni edition negative sa hopefully. Kotara hobo correct. Located in Tinsukia near the Dibrusikwa National Park. Oh, Tinsukia Dibrusikwa National Park is well and is a critical habitat for migratory birds. Oh, Tinsukia no. It recently gained attention for community-led conservation efforts during the New Year festivities. Maguri ki asile naam to Maguri Motapung Bill. Dibrusikwa National Park was road Tinsukia. Consider the following statements regarding the Mui commentary Udakhin Pakot Welfare Scheme 2026. It provides monthly financial assistance to Udakhin Pakot celibate monks living in the communist Satrasias. The scheme aims to sustain the tangible heritage of the new Vaishnavite culture. Yes, it is only applicable to Satras located in Masli district. Masli district is no, 30 meters. No, 1 and 2 were correct. 1 and 2A. Yes, A is the correct answer. The scheme is for 260 total. No, Udasin Fakots for all recognized Satras across Assam. Not just Mazuli, it is social welfare initiative to support the lifestyle and cultural contributions of monks. In general science, what is the primary source of methane emissions in the agricultural sector of India? Overuse of chemical fertilizers, no flooded paddy fuels, anaerobic decomposition, tea leaf, sugar and A2 flooded B2. Yes, B2 correct. Flooded paddy fuels by anaerobic decomposition. Paddy fuels are a major source of methane globally in Assam's waterlogged rice cultivation, soil microbes, break down organic matter into oxygen poor anaerobic conditions, releasing methane into the atmosphere. The Asarigandi village in Assam is internationally known for witchcraft. Asarigandi terracotta and pottery. Asarigandi to heritage thoburi থাকিব. Let us see. Terracotta and pottery see হয় ন? এইটো correct হৈছে. Asarigandi Dhubri district as the cradle of Assamese terracotta art. It is famous for the Hatima Butula mother and child doll. Hatima Butula mother and child doll, and is a prime example of community-led preservation of intangible heritage. Consider the following statements regarding Lancet 1, which was in the news in January 26. It is the first satellite from Northeast India launched abroad. ISRO's PSLV C62. Yes, this is correct. It was developed primarily by students of Assam Don Bosco University. Yes, this is also Assam Don Bosco University. Its primary mission is to assist in disaster management, specifically for monitoring floods and landslides in Assam. Disaster managementor কাৰণে বনোৱা হৈছিলে flood and landslide in Assam. কোতে হ'ব লাগে all three at a D. Yes, this is the correct answer. 12th January, launched on 12th January 2026. Lancet 1 is a historic milestone for the Northeast. It is a student-led satellite designed for real-time disaster monitoring, which is critical for Assam's recurring flood and landslide challenges. But this mission was failed. In the context of environment, the white-bellied heron, that is Ardea insignis, recently in focus regarding the Kalai second hydropower project is classified under which IUCN red-bellied heron that is critically endangered. That is C. Yes, C. To Kalai hydro project itu কি নদী আছিলে লোহিত নদীৰ কাষত ন লোহিত নদীৰ কাষতে পাইছিলে এইটো Kalai hydropower white-bellied heron as not critically endangered. Okay. It is, white-bellied heron is one of the rarest birds in the world. Its presence in the Lohit River basin near the proposed 1200 megawatt Kalai second project has sparked a significant environmental debate because the species is extremely sensitive to habitat disturbance. With reference to the CMC1 Onuprerana scheme launched in 25-26, consider the full instruments. It provides one-time financial assistance to full-time research scholars in Assam. Due to one-time to no হয় differently abled research scholars receive a higher amount for assistance compared to general scholars. I don't know. The benefit is recurring and provided annually until the completion of the PhD. I to DDR. It provides a one-time financial assistance to full-time research scholars in Assam. Kinka hobo eta one time hoy. No. Dibango different level research scholars receive higher amount. Hobo he recurring and provided annually until the completion of the PhD. So the 3 to 2 correct hobo hai. 3 to 2 correct hobo hai. 3 to 2 correct hobo hai. 2 and 3 to 9, 1 and 3 ase. Only 3. Hey, all did you? All. 3 to correct no hai. So politically 3 to wrong asile. CM Jivan Prerana scheme to provides one-time financial assistance to full-time research scholars or one-time financial scholars assistance. Full-time research scholars in Assam Dibanka research scholars receive a higher amount of assistance compared to the benefit recurring. Annually, the scheme provides a one-time benefit of 25,000 egg birthday day, one-time benefit of 25,000 for central and 40,000 for Debang scholars, one-time general BC scholars. Research scholars, no. 25,000 are Debang Lagok. Debang scholars, that is 40,000. It is not a recurring monthly, or annual stipend. Okay, one time full benefit. Scholars. That is the Assam Startup and Innovation Policy 2025 aims to achieve which of the following targets by 2030. Assam Startup and Innovation Policy attract 2,000 crore investment into the state's startup ecosystem. Establish a startup hub in every district headquarters of Assam. Maintain that 50% of all state government procurement must be from local startups. Abolish all state taxes for startups for the past 10 years. Assam Startup Innovation Policy. Investments into the state startup ecosystem. Establish a startup hub in different districts of Assam. Mandate 50% of all state government procurement must be from local startups. Abolish all state taxes for startups for the first 10 years. Second to কিন্তু এটা কেনেকৈ ধৰণৰ বিচাৰিছে এইটোৱে মেইন কথা চাওঁ ৰ'ব এইটো মোৰ ভুল হ'ব এনেও আমি ছেকেণ্ডত দিলোঁহেঁতেন ন কাৰেক্টটো এয়া আছিলে ন 2,000 crore investment into the state's startup ecosystem by 2030. Okay. That is 2025 policy is a major push toward economic diversification. Its primary financial goal is to attract 2,000 crore in investments and promote sector-specific innovation in agri-tech, biotech, and bamboo. Agri-tech, biotech, and bamboo. Okay. Agri-tech, biotech, and bamboo. Oh, itu kia 2,000 crore. Oh, itu no. 2,000 crore rupees, no, policy also. Diversification, its primary financial goal is to attract 2,000 crore in investments and promote sector-specific innovation in agri-tech, biotech, and bamboo. Which of the following describes the Lohit River in the context of Assam's geography? Is a major river or right bank tributary of the Brahmaputra? Brahmaputra right bank tributary, no, it. Lohit River left bank tributary, right? It flows through the Anja district of Arunachal Pradesh before entering Assam. Hawapari. The Dholajodia Bridge, Bhubaneswar is over this river, it to 3 to 2 Karakhoi. At only 3 to at 2 and 3, 2 and 3 B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Anja district or Prahe, Arunachal. Lohit is a left bank tributary, not a right bank. That is, it enters from Tibet. It enters from Tibet. We say it flows through, it flows correct through Anja district. It enters from Tibet through Arunachal Pradesh and meets Brahmaputra. The Bhupen Hazarika Setu, India's longest bridge over water, spans the Lohit River. India's longest bridge over water spans the Lohit River. Consider the following statements regarding Census 2027 roadmap announced in early 2026. The first phase house listing will be conducted between April and September 2026. First phase house listing April 26 or April or September. For the first time, data collection will be entirely digital via mobile app. Entirely digital probably. Mobile app or data collection. The census will include a mandatory caste column for all residents. This will include the mandatory. It all correct over there. It all correct over caste column over no. Caste system here work in a D over two. D to no hold on caste column and no correct. Only 1 and 2. Okay, to follow it again. And the house listing April or September of Pitrodabo is a sufficient and census will include a mandatory. For the first time, data collection will be entirely digital via mobile app. The timeline and digital nature of the upcoming census were confirmed in January 26. January 26 to Hole. The timeline and digital nature of the upcoming census were confirmed in January 2026. While there is a debate on the caste census, there was a debate on the caste census. As of current notifications, a mandatory national caste column for the general population remains a separate policy decision and is not a part of the standard housing census. The timeline and digital nature of the upcoming census were confirmed in January 2026. Well, there is a debate on the caste census. Caste census as of current notifications, a mandatory national caste column for the general population remains a separate policy decision and not yet part of the standard housing census page. Standard housing census page এতিয়ালৈকে হোৱা নাই কিবা হয় That time Sribhumi News renamed STO, that is Karimganj TOA. So to correct about 24, early 2025. The Assam government renamed Karimganj district as Sribhumi, honoring Rabindranath Tagore's description of the region, the land of prosperity, Sribhumi, during his visit a century ago. In the context of Indian polity, Constitutional Amendment Act lowered the voting age. Voting age 21 upra 18 করে দিয়েছে 44 না 63 or 61 44 amendment না 61 হতে হবে নাকি 61 হবে দে 61 দেখছো 61 correct 61 constitutional amendment 21 upra 18 voting age. That's it. 1660 the 61st Constitutional Amendment Act of 1988 হয়েছিল no and it implemented in 1918 and it implemented reduced the voting age for elections to the Lok Sabha and the elections voting age relaxation, that is a relaxation of the reduced question 21 to 18 in the Lok Sabha elections and the legislative assembly elections. Okay, 61st under 1988 and implemented in 1989. Pologrit Hawa, that is 1861. Pologrit Hawa 1861, the first prison uprising in Assam was backed by the British ban on private tea cultivation called the poppy opium pack system, that is facing that is opium, that is P, because of the opium cultivation. Yes, correct. Opium poppy cultivation, no? The uprising in Nagaur district, Pologrit Hawa, Nagaur district, no? 1861 at bottom. Uprising in Nagaur district was triggered by the government's ban on private poppy cultivation and rumors of a tax on betel nuts and rumors of a tax on betel nuts and pan tamulor tax আৰু ইপিনে poppy cultivation of private ban on government's ban on private poppy cultivation government's ban কৰিছিলে ন তাৰ কাৰণে আৰু tax বঢ়াই দিছে ন তামোল বনত tax লগাৰ কাৰণে. Which of the following correctly describes green bonds in the Indian economy? Bonds issued by the government, specifically by the tea industry, fixed income instruments designed to support specific climate related to environmental projects, equity shares of companies that follow zero waste policies. Loans provided to farmers for switching to organic manure. Green bonds, fixed income instruments designed to support specific climate related projects. Bonds issued to government specially. Green bonds, fixed income instruments designed to support specific climate related equity shares of companies that follow zero waste policy. Loans provided to farmers. Bonds. Do you have a D over DD? B here. Sorry, wrong hole. Green bonds money in the Indian economy money fixed income instruments. Fixed income instruments designed to support specific climate related or environment projects. Sovereign green bonds are a key part of India's strategy to fund the transition to a low carbon economy and meet its net zero 2070 targets. Meet its net zero 2070 targets low carbon economy. Okay. In January 2026, the first floating toilet station, that is resilient sanitation, that is Nolbari, Monaisi bottom, that is B, Nolbari, yes. To address the challenge of sanitation during the annual floods, floating toilet was inaugurated in Nolbari in early January 2026. This is part of a larger initiative to build flood-resilient infrastructure in the Brahmaputra riparian zones. Okay. Consider the full statements regarding the district administrative model recently implemented in Assam. It aims to bring the administration closer to the people by decentralizing powers from district headquarters. Yes, this is yes. Co-district is headed by an officer and the rank of additional district commissioner. Additional ATC, 805. An officer of the rank of additional. The model eliminates the need for any physical presence of citizens at the district commissioners' office for basic services like caste certificates. A model estimates the need for any physical presence of citizens at the main district commissioners' office for basic services like caste. All three should be correct. All three. Yes, all three. It is your caste certificate দিব পাৰে no? Physical presence of citizens at the district commissioners. Eliminates. The model eliminates. The model eliminates the need for physical presence of citizens at the main district office for services like certificates. Okay. The co-district model is a major administrative reform in Assam by placing ATCs in similar administrative pockets. The government has decentralized power, making governance more citizen-centric and efficient. With reference to the Laizong Paradise Festival. That is January 2026. Consider the following. It's a major tourism festival of the state of Mizoram. It aims to showcase the unique ecological and cultural heritage of the Laizong Hills. The festival is supported under the regional inclusion policy of the Ministry of Donor. All three correct. The festival is supported under the regional inclusion policy of Ministry of Donor. Donor Northeast region, no. Development of Northeast region. All three. D. Yes, D is the correct answer. Mizoram or Laichung. In January 26, the Laichung Paradise Festival was inaugurated in Mizoram as a APSC aspirant. It is important to know neighboring state festivals still often appear in the notice section of paper 1. Notice section of paper 1. Okay. This is article 44 in the context of environment. What is the GFC1 star ranking? GFC1 star ranking recently awarded to several citizens a ranking of green fuel consumption. Green fuel consumption, garbage-free city, ratification, Darsat survection, rating for ground forest cover in urban areas. Yes, it will global finance certificate for climate resilient. Series itu hiri situ CC BHI. Itu ground forest cover. Our situ points na lang sila. Ito no hay garbage free city certification. Garbage free city certification number. Such survection. Oh, ito no. Okay, ito full hita gile negative. In 25-26 cycle, several emerald cities in Assam, including Guwahati and Dibrugarh, received the garbage free city 1-star certification. Garbage free city, garbage free 1, garbage free city 1, CFC 1-star certification by Dibrugarh, Guwahati and Dibrugarh. This signifies a significant improvement in solid waste management and urban cleanliness across the state. Solid waste management or urban cleanliness across the state. Okay. Guwahati Dibrugarh by Sari, no? I took Gasly garbage free city 1 GFC 1-star certification. The Namrup Borhat region in Assam was recently in the news regarding Namrup Borhat Gyorgane discovery of a new high-grade coal seam. I don't know. The establishment of the state's first dedicated green ammonia plant. Namrup Borhat with green ammonia plant. The major archaeological excavation revealed early Ahom ruins. The inauguration of a new bridge B2 green ammonia plant. B yes, B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Green ammonia plant up as a part of India's green hydrogen mission. Green hydrogen mission. The planner Mutino. Namrup, famous for its fertilizer industry, is being pivoted towards green ammonia production to decarbonize the agricultural supply chain. And the noticed. Okay. Consider the following statements regarding the Punya Tham scheme of the Assam government. Punya Tham scheme of the Assam government. It provides financial assistance for senior citizens to visit major religious sites in India. Sites in India. Punya Tham Senior Citizen Organization. Financial assistance scheme. The scheme is restricted to visits within the boundaries of Assam only. To visit within the boundaries of Assam only, I don't know. It is managed by the Department of Social Justice and Empowerment. পুণ্যধাম অসমতে মাত্ৰ নেকি? অসমতে কেইটা পুণ্যধাম আছে? তো পুণ্যধাম স্কিম এইটো অসমতে হ'ব লাগে। Department of Social Justice and Empowerment. Social Justice এইটোতো হ'ব নোৱাৰে। Only 1 and 2 1 and 2 হ'ব। 1 and 2 নহয়। The scheme is restricted with its written only 1 to 1. It নহয়। Department of Social Justice it নহয়। Only 1 A হ'ব দে। A B হয় correct answer 1 and 2 1 and 3 Social Justice and Empowerment है। Okay, Social Justice and Empowerment है কৰিছে নেকি? বাপৰে। পুণ্যধাম scheme provided financial assistance for senior citizens আৰু কি কয় managed by the Department of Social Justice and Empowerment. Okay, হ'ব পাৰে। The scheme covers major pilgrimage sites across India. India অসমতে নহ'ব। Like Puri, Varanasi, and Ayodhya. It is a social welfare initiative for the elderly. Yes, correct. Social welfare initiative, okay. For the elderly. Okay. With reference to Indian history, the Deepavali Declaration 1929 was associated with which of the following? Deepavali Declaration, Indian history. Reference to Indian history, the Deepavali Declaration 1929 was associated with which of the following? Indian history, Deepavali Declaration, that is a promise of dominion status for India by Lord Irwin, official state of the non-cooperation movement. The demand for Purna Swaraj by the Congress, it backed between the British and the princely states. Reference to the Indian history, Deepavali Declaration was hosted in 1929. Purna Swaraj of it, Purna Swaraj of Purna Swaraj, it was here. But no, wrong hole, no. Deepavali Declaration to a promise of dominion status for India. Of dominion status for India by Lord Irwin. Okay. Yes, or India by Lord Irwin. Explanation 1929. Lord Irwin made the Deepavali Declaration stating that the natural issue of India's constitutional progress was the attainment of dominion status. This was a vague promise meant to appease Indian leaders before the round table. This was a vague promise to take the Deepavali Declaration to vague promise. ফালতু আছিলে আৰু কাম নোহোৱা এনেও পৰিয়া মানে ৰাউণ্ড টেবল কনফাৰেন্সত নিবৰ কাৰণে ইমান কৰিবৰ কাৰণে which among the following is the southernmost tributary of the Brahmaputra in Assam? Southernmost question, no? सबसे साउथत थाकाता साउथ माने केते साउथ सबसे दूरत थाका धनसिरि कपिली कृष्णाई पुरहिदिहिं कोनটো बेছি लम्बा হ'ব सबसे साउथत थाकाটো तो कपिली धनसिरिটো गलाघाट जरहाटৰ আছে ন धनसिरि कार्बি आंलं और মাজেদি যায় কৃষ্ণাই নদীটো ইফালে হ'ল গোৱালপাৰা Southern most tributary of the Brahmaputra কোনটো কয় নাজানো দিয়া এইটো সাউথতে আছে গোটেইখিনি কপিলি ধনচিৰি কৃষ্ণাইটোৱে হ'ব নেকি কৃষ্ণাইটো পূব চাইডত আছে কৃষ্ণাই হ'ব লাগে দে কৃষ্ণাই বেছি পিনে আছে ধনচিৰি যেন লাগি আছে দে বুঢ়ীদিহিংটো পূব চাইডতহে আছে সাউথাৰ্ণ মষ্ট হয় কৃষ্ণাই দি দিওঁ হয় কৃষ্ণাই হয় সাউথাৰ্ণ মষ্ট কৃষ্ণাই যিহেতু ইপিনে অলপ আগত আছে ন while Dhonchiri and Kopili are major south bank tributaries the Krishna flowing through Goalpara is one of the southernmost significant tributaries before the Brahmaputra enters Bangladesh. Yes. It is requires careful mapping of the reverse drainage. Careful mapping like no. Krishna Nodi Pene BCBOP SRK South Orbine. The PM Janman mission which show active implementation in the tribal belts of Assam. Like 2025 is primarily for PM Janman tribal belts in providing insurance to Jandon account holders. The socio-economic development of particularly vulnerable tribal groups. PVTs is promoting Japanese investment in the digitizing the land records. It's one mission. Travel beds or something to PVTG over B over BA correct. Please the correct answer. Please the correct answer. The socio-economic development of particularly vulnerable tribal groups. PVTGs. PM Janjati Adivasi. PM Janjati Adivasi Nyaya Maha Abhiyan. PM Janman targets 75 PVTCs across India. In Assam, it focuses on providing basic facilities like housing, clean water, and roads to marginalized tribal communities. PM Janjati Adivasi Nyaya Maha Abhiyan. Adivasi Maha Abhiyan. Adivasi Nyaya Maha Abhiyan. Targets PM Janman targets 75 PPTCs. 75 PPTCs target course across India. Kote India team 75 PPTCs. In Assam, it focuses on providing basic facilities like housing, clean water, and roads to marginalized tribal communities. Okay. Which of the following describes base effect is in the context of calculating GDP or inflation? Base effect. Stop calculating GDP or inflation. The impact of the previous year's figures on the current year's growth rate calculation. The effect of global oil prices on the Indian rupee. The minimum tax rate a company must pay regardless of these deductions. The influence of the central bank's interest rates on rural lending. Base effect, GDP or inflation related base effect, the impact of prices or efforts on the person's growth rate calculation. Global oil prices, maximum rate, and tax rate a company must pay. Deduction, the influence of the bank's interest rates on rural lending to do base effect the previous year figures on the current year's growth rate calculation itu apa? The effect of the global oil prices. Oil price low the inflation deflation itu A होती A. Yes, A is the correct answer. Is the correct answer in here. The impact of the previous year's figures on the current year's growth rate calculation. The base effect refers to how a very low or very high number in the previous year can make the current year's percentage change look unusually high or low, even if the actual change is modest. Consider the full statements regarding a sunset, which was announced in the 25-26 state budget. It is a dedicated satellite program developed in collaboration with ISRO. The satellite's primary objective is to enhance border security and monitor illegal cross-border migration. It will be used for precision agriculture and real-time flood forecasting. Precision used for precision agriculture and real-time flood management. All three away. All who DO. Yes, this is the correct answer. Despite the latest budgetary announcements, ASAMSAT is a multi-purpose satellite initiative. It aims to modernize disaster management, floods, provide a high-resolution data for agriculture, and strengthen state security through border monitoring. Okay, 22. With reference to the targeted judiciary city for which the foundation stone was laid in North Guwahati in January 26. Consta following. With reference to the integrated judicial city. It is designed to be the first of its kind in Northeast India, housing the Guwahati High Court and other subordinate courts. Integrated judicial city. The project is funded entirely by the World Bank under the Assam Governance and Service Delivery Program. World Bank or Fund Governance and Service Delivery. It aims to incorporate AI-driven case management systems to reduce judicial pendency. Integrated judicial city হ'ব পাৰে all three হ'ব দেই দ্বিতীয় হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে World Bank or the involvement 9 only 1 and 3 correct. Okay, wrong all it. Janto be the first of its kind in Northeast, housing the Koita High Court and other subordinate courts. It aims to incorporate AI-driven case management systems to reduce judicial dependency. The integrated judicial city in North Guwahati. The integrated judicial city in North Guwahati is a landmark for judicial infrastructure, while the World Bank supports various governance projects in Assam. This specific judicial city is a joint initiative of the state and central government. Central government. Like Star 2026 push toward e-courts. Okay. In January 2026, the Bagurumba dance was saw record-breaking performance in Guwahati. This traditional folk dance is primarily associated with which community? That is Bodo. 53, that is Bodo. Bodo Karakobai. Bagurumba is the most popular folk dance of the Bodo community. In January 26, a massive performance at Husuruzura Sozai Stadium aimed to showcase Bodo culture to bring global audience. Okay. The Assam Disaster Resilient Hill Roads Development Project recently approved by the World Bank specifically targets which region? Assam Disaster Resilient Hill Roads Development Project recently approved by the World Bank specifically targets which region? Brahmaputra Valley riparian zones instead of the Maso and Karbanglong tea growing operation. Border areas of Barak Valley. Assam Disaster Resilient Hill Roads Development Project. Disaster Management Question. Disaster Resilient, that is the Maso Karbanglong. Tea growing. Barak Valley and riparian zones. Brahmaputra Valley riparian zones. Pura itu biye hobo, di Maso and Karbanglong biye hobo. Yes, biye. সহজ দেখোন এটা নাজানে পাৰে এনে অনুমান the hill districts of the Maso and Karbanglong explain. The $350 million project focuses on building climate resilient roads in tribal and hill areas to ensure connectivity remains intact during landslides and extreme weather events. 55. With reference to Vaikuntanath Bhagavat Bhattasarya. Vaikuntanath Bhagavat Bhattasarya Bhattadev, whose Tirobhav Tithi was observed in January 26. The following Bhattadev, no. He is known as the father of Assamese prose. Yes. His most famous work is the Katha Gita. Bhattadev, yes. Translation from the Bhagavad Gita. He was a contemporary of Mahapurush Srimanta Sankardev and direct disciple of Madhavdev. Yes. Yes, why? Correct. All three are correct. Yes, D. Yes, D. Bhattadev 1558 to 1638 revolutionized Assamese literature by introducing prose katha He was a key figure in the Neo Vaishnavite movement and a disciple of Damodar Dev or Madhavdev. In the context of the Indian economy, fiscal drag refers to Indian economy fiscal drag. The situation where inflation pushes taxpayers into higher tax brackets. Higher tax brackets. Increasing tax revenue without a change in tax rates. The slowing down of the economy due to high government debt. Fiscal the impact of high interest rates on private investment. The reduction in public spending during a recession. The situation where inflation pushes taxpayers into higher tax brackets, increasing tax revenue, reductions in tax rates. Into A over the whole no nai doesn't A whole correct answer. Option black is easy kuri de karne unumane the pozero. Tax drag, fiscal drag money on a situation where inflation pushes taxpayers into higher tax brackets. Okay. Wages as wages rise with inflation, people move into higher tax brackets. This increases the government's tax take and can act as a drag on consumer spending and economic growth. Which represents which of the following describes the One Metro Vision. One Metro Vision initiative mentioned in the 25-26 Assam budget. One Metro Vision, a program for the mass plantation of commercial timber. One Metro Vision, I don't know. Commercial timber plantation or a community initiative to address human elephant conflict through habitat invasion and native One Metro Vision. Exclusive for students pursuing forestry degree, plan to privatize the management of minor forest produce. It will B over B. Yes, B is the correct answer. Lead initiative to address human and elephant conflict through habitat enrichment and exploration. The One Metro Vision focuses on involving local communities in forest conservation and creating fodder banks within forests to prevent wild elephants from entering human settlements. The following pairs of ancient ports and their modern day locations. Tamrolipti, West Bengal. Muziris, Kerala. Pumpuhar, Tamil Nadu, Nazanute. How many pairs of them are correctly made? Question. She can't do that young Holly or no Holly. I need to be rich. All three correctly. Wrong article. Tamrolipti, West Bengal. Muziris, Kerala. Pumpuhar, Tamil Nadu, ancient ports. Modern day location, no? Tamrolipti, West Bengal. Yeah, Pumpuhar, Tamil Nadu. Majoris, ancient maritime hubs. Tamrolipti was the exit point for trade to Southeast Asia. Majoris for trade with Rome and Pumpuhar as a major shoulder port. PM Kusum scheme wishes in a major Puchinasum's solar agri mission in 2026 primarily aims at PM Kusum. providing free high quality seeds to small farmers. Mm, Decarbonizing the agricultural sector through solar powered irrigation pumps. Decarbonizing minimum support price. The viejo. Viejo. Yes. What was this? Decarbonizing the agricultural sector through solar powered irrigation pumps. That is expansion, irrigation pumps expansion, no? PM Kusum enables farmers to set up solar power plants, solar power plants on barren land and install solar pumps, providing them with energy security and additional source of income. Okay, PM Kusum, solar agri. Which of the following is the knowledge for the implementation of the one district, one product by some Industrial Development Corporation of Industries and Commerce. Number two, another that is one district, one product. One district, one product. APSC CCE Industrial Development Corporation. Directorate of Industries and Commerce. APEDA হবে তো APEDA হবে A হবে C হবে Directorate of Industries and Commerce. Industry one product to full হইতে গেলে নেগেটিভ হবে Directorate of Industries and Commerce expansion while some direct Assam doesn't know. India provides AATC industries and provides infrastructure. The Directorate of Industries and Commerce is a primary agency responsible for manufacturing products like Joha rice, ginger, muga, and promoting them under the ODOP, one district, one policy scheme. That is Directorate DIC, the Directorate of Industries and Commerce. Okay. With reference to the satellite LACID-1 launched on January 12th, 2026, points to the following. It is the first satellite from Northeast India launched abroad. It is correct. Was developed by students. Yes, community is provide real-time data for flood forecasting and landslide monitoring. Itu aku berhasil দেখোন. Itu 61 aku berhasil question tu itu গোটেইকেইটা correct হয় D হয় এইটো answer মাৰ্ক মাৰি থলো আৰু correct বুলি এইটো কি লিখিছিলে এইকেইটা LACID-1 marks a historic entry of Assam into the space sector. It is a student-led nano satellite designed specifically for the next geographical challenges for the Northeast. This is the braided nature and control and the pressure terrain of the world into currencies. Okay. The announcement made in January 26, the monthly stipend for Nordoi 3.0 benefits has been increased to কিমানলৈকে ইনক্ৰিজ কৰিছে 1250ৰ পৰা 1250 আছিলে ন এতিয়া কিমান হ'ব 1450 আছিলে নেকি 1500 না 1750 1750 হ'ব পাৰে জানুৱাৰী 1250ৰ পৰা 1785 হ'ব চালা সেইকাৰণে কেঞ্চেলটো 1450 চিন্তা কৰিছিলোঁ কিন্তু 1500 হ'ব নালাগে বুলি কিনে 1250ৰ পৰা 1500 কৰিলে ন আৰু 250 বঢ়াই দিছে Starting January 1st, 2026, the Assam government increased the ordinary monthly payments from 1250 to 1500. 1250 to 1500. This 20% hike is aimed at mitigating inflation and enhancing the social security net for the 26 lakh plus women beneficiaries under the scheme. Okay. The Gozomitra scheme recently implemented in 8 conflict-prone districts of Assam primarily aims to promote the commercial breeding of elephants. Breeding tourism karne breeding korbo niki set up community-based monitoring teams to manage human-elephant conflict. Gozomitra provide insurance to take establish elephant themed museums. BA Karagan Servo has set up community-based monitoring teams to manage human-elephant conflict. Approved by the cabinet, the Gozomitra Prince of Elephants scheme involves local youth and community members in 8 districts like Kolpara and Odalguri districts. Odalguri take as a response team to track elephant movement and alert policers. Reducing casualties on both sides. Okay. In the context of the Assam budget 2026, the Mukhyamantri Mahila Udyamita Abhiyan provides a voice of the following to self-help group members: 10,000 for starting a business, subsidized loans for 25,000 through bank linkage, utilization of seed capital. Seed capital utilization. Total exemption from professional tax for the first 5 years of business. Seed capital তাৰপিছত 25,000 টকা দিব তাৰপিছত exemption from professional tax for the first 5 years of business. Business corruption. হ'ব পাৰে গোটেইকেইটা all 3 ABCD D হ'ব only 1 and 2 correct. Only 1 and 2 correct. Wrong with the the scheme focuses on turning Sukhis into Lakpati fighters. Sukhis, Lakpati fighters. entrepreneurs. It provides an initial 10,000 and subsequent loan support. Tax exemption. By example, tax exemption is not a part of this specific entrepreneurship package. Tax exemption is not part of this specific entrepreneurship package. Okay. Which of the following constitutional articles is with the inclusion of communities in the scheduled tribes? List of topics that saw significant debate in the Assam Assembly in early 2026. The following constitutional articles is with the inclusion of communities in the scheduled tribes. List of topics that saw significant debate in Assam. More. 26. Article 340, 341, 342, 366. Inclusion of communities in the scheduled tribes. Oh ho ho. Scheduled tribe inclusion kora. A topic that so significant debate in Assam. 341 did you hold on P. 342 as well. Okay. 342 inclusion of communities in the scheduled tribes. 342. Article 342 empowers the president. Empowers the president to specify the tribes or tribal communities. Tribal communities which shall be deemed to be scheduled tribes. Scheduled tribes. Article 141 is the scheduled castes. Article 40 or 341 scheduled caste. Article 340 is the backward classes. Article 340 to the ST president has power. In Article 342 for inclusion of communities and tribal scheduled caste tribal tribes. Article 340 is a backward class. 340 backward class. 341 that is scheduled caste. SC. 342 that is ST. Okay. Scheduled tribe. The Cunningham Circular, a significant document, freedom struggle was empty. Opium restriction students from participating in non-cooperation and children's involvement. That is B. Okay, B is the correct answer. Dr. J.R. Cunningham. By J.R. Cunningham, the Director of Public Instruction, it demanded undertaking from students and parents.
Cunningham, J.R. Cunningham, 1930, the Director of Public Instruction. He demanded an undertaking from students and parents to refrain from political activities. This led to a massive student strike and the burning of various national educational institutions in Assam. All of it come. Consider the following statements regarding Japanese encephalitis in Assam, which remains a public health focus in 2026. This is a viral infection. Japanese encephalitis viral to one protozoan have one transmitted to humans through the bite of infected Culex mosquitoes. Pigs and wild birds act as amplifier hosts in the transmission cycle. Pigs and birds, I don't think so. Vaccination for Japanese encephalitis is part of the universal immunization program in India. Which should be correct in here? Japanese encephalitis, mosquito, viral or malaria to protozoan asile, but it viral to hobo nalage. Colex mosquito to nobo. Japanese encephalitis e hobo. Pigs and wild birds. Amplifier host to no hoy. Vaccination for part of the universal. Mhm. 2 and 3. কি হ'ব তে যি হওক বা নহওক 1 and 2 universal program একেদি হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে নাই দিয়ে কাৰেক্ট আছিলে গোটেইকেইটা কাৰেক্ট চ' এইটো মোৰ মাইনাছ হৈ গ'ল আৰু it is a viral infection. Japanese encephalitis is a viral infection infected through Culex mosquitoes. Pigs and wild birds are the amplifier hosts transmission cycle. Vaccination of Japanese encephalitis is part of the universal immunization program UIP in India. Okay. Assam is highly endemic for Japanese encephalitis due to its climate and the presence of paddy fields, breeding grounds for culex and domestic pigs. Paddy fields are the breeding grounds, and domestic pigs are the amplifier hosts. Okay. In January 2026, the Assam government renamed which of the following universities to Rabindranath Tagore Vishwavidhalaya. Rabindranath Tagore Vishwavidhalaya কোনটো স্কুল Rabindranath Tagore University Hojai University, Assam University, Dibrugarh University, Bodoland University. Assam University আছিলে নেকি 2026 renamed Rabindranath Tagore Vishwavidhalaya. Rabindranath Tagore University Hojai. It hobo C. Yes, C. C is the correct answer. The renaming from Tagore to Thakur was done to better reflect the Assamese and the original Bengali pronunciation and cultural identity of the poet. Okay. Which of the following rivers is known for the great nature and high sediment load, making flood forecasting in Assam a major challenge? Making flood forecasting in Assam a major challenge. Flood. There is of course Brahmaputra, Kopili, Dhansiri, high sediment to Brahmaputra, So that is Brahmaputra. B. Yes, Brahmaputra. And braided nature. The Brahmaputra is one of the world's largest braided rivers. Its unstable channels and massive siltation from the Himalayas make traditional river gauges less effective, which is why satellite-based forecasting like last one is being prioritized in 2026. Um, why satellite-based forecasting like last one is being prioritized in 2026. Yes, for flat what called pre forecast. Last it was made for um, flood resilient kind of satellite. 70, the Prerna Asani scheme implemented in late 2025, early 2026, provides monthly stipends to students of which class? Prerna Asani, graduate students. Prerna Asani, in which class? 25, class 8, class 10, first division, class 12. Graduate students. Is graduate of Niki? First division. I don't know. Pranasani. And which class? 12. 12. Okay. To wrong class 10 first division students. Class 10 first division students. Pranasani. Okay. Under the scheme, students who secure first division in class 10 to Assam State Secondary Education Board to Sevar Holoni Assam State Secondary Education Board people receive 300 per month until their higher secondary exams to encourage them to continue their education and reduce dropout rates. Yes, 300 per month until they complete their higher secondary exam. And the exams to encourage them. First division needed. Okay, in class 10, 300 per month. Okay, answer to Sonade. Consider the following statements regarding the Mukhyamantri Nijut Babu Asani launched on January 7, 2026. Launch hoye gol no Nijut Babu Asani January 7, 2026. It is a financial initiative scheme specially designed for male students from economically weaker families. It provides a monthly stipend of 1,000 for undergraduate students and 2,000 for postgraduate students. The primary objective is to address the increasing dropout rates among boys in higher education due to financial pressures. Nijut Babu Asani to answer কেইটা আছে এইটো গোটেইকেইটা হ'ব লাগে দিয়ে হ'বহি হ'লে হ'ল নহ'লে দিয়ে কাৰেক্ট আনচাৰ Nijut Babu Asani জানা নাছিলোঁ undergraduate student bilakok 1,000 and postgraduate that is 2,000 rupees monthly stipend monthly বাপৰে monthly যদি 1,000 কৰি পায় কি লাগে monthly stipend of 1,000 student হয় না নহয় এগুলা ফলছ হ'ব নেকি লাষ্টত ইমান টকা দিব পাৰিবনে Mukhyamantri Nijut Babu Asani launched 7 January 2026. It is a financial initiative scheme specifically designed for male students from economically weaker families. It provides a monthly stipend of 1,000 for undergraduate students and 2,000 for postgraduate students. The primary objective is to address the increasing dropout rates among boys in higher education due to financial pressures. Which of the statements given above are correct? All of this. Following the success of the Nijut Moina scheme for girls, the Assam government launched Nijut Babu in early January 2026 on 7th. It aimed to provide gender balanced support. Undergraduate boys receive 10,000 annually. 10,000 annually, yes, 10,000 per month, 1,000 per month, and PG students receive 20,000 annually, that is 2,000 per month for 10 months of the academic year instead of 12. It is made for 10 months, okay, which is in the academic months of a year. The PSLV C62 mission launched by ISRO on January 12, 2026, carried which primary satellite developed by the DRDO. DRDO, that is EOS 101, and VESA EOS N1, Cartosat 3, and Reset 2B. Oh, I don't know. Reset 2B. DRDO কোনটো satellite লৈ গৈছিলে ন PSLVত? Mm, mm, mm. PSLV C62 mission launched by ISRO on January carried which and Vesa Cortos research to be as Leniki. Dear Olaga at the Anvesa here. Sorry, I do politically particular. Anvesa. That is EOS 1 N1 EOS N1. Okay, Anvesa is a sophisticated hyperspectral imaging satellite, hyperspectral imaging satellite. It is designed for supervision, allowing it to see invisible light shades, which is critical for identifying camouflaged assets, border surveillance, and deep agricultural monitoring. Okay. 73, with reference to the Guwahati High Court, with significant digital milestone was achieved in early January 2026. Guwahati High Court কি কৰিছে? The principal bench in Guwahati became the first paperless court in India. The Kohima bench became the first of the Northeast to launch a dedicated mobile app for case tracking. It launched an AI translator that converts judgments into all 22 scheduled languages simultaneously. It became the first High Court to hold a full session in a metaverse environment. Guwahati High Court with significant digital milestone. January 2026, principal bench in Guwahati became the paperless court. Paperless court is impossible. The Kohima bench became the first in the to launch a dedicated mobile app. It to see language means convert means that is all 22 scheduled languages simultaneously. Yes, C should be the correct answer. That is C. No, this was B. So incorrect হৈ গ'ল ন মানে কোহিমা বেঞ্চত কি কৰিছিলে এটা মোবাইল এপ কৰিছে কেছগিলা মানে কেছ ট্ৰেকিঙৰ কাৰণে ফৰ কেছ ট্ৰেকিং কোহিমা that is Nagaland bench. Kohima bench became the first in the Northeast to launch a dedicated mobile app for case tracking. For case tracking, that is it in Guwahati, under Guwahati High Court. The Kohima bench became the first in the Northeast first in the Northeast, not in India, to launch a dedicated mobile app for case tracking. Okay. On January 5th, 2026, the bench of the Guwahati High Court, January 5, 2026, launched its mobile app to enhance accessibility for litigants and lawyers in Nagaland, marking a major step in judicial digitization of Uttar Pradesh. Okay, okay. In the context of environment and biodiversity, where was the Magur Motapung Bill, the news in January 2026? Magur Motapung Bill. It was officially declared as Assam's second Ramsar said no. It hosted a unique celebration match conservation campaign to protect migratory birds during New Year festivities. It was like a new species of electric eel. No, it was completely trained for the construction of a new logistic box. No, there was B. Yes, Magur Motapung Bill. That was correct. um, it hosted a unique celebration meets conservation campaign. Unique celebration meets conservation campaign. Some explanation Magur Motapung Bill. Located in Tinsukia, this wetland is sensitive to noise and pollution. This wetland is sensitive to noise and pollution. In January 2026, local communities and the forest department collaborated to ensure that picnic crowds and New Year celebrations did not disturb the thousands of migratory birds like the Rudi Sheldug, Rudi Seldak, Rudi Seldak, that winter deer, that winter deer. Rudi Seldak, many winter season that their hair, no, Tandat, crowds and New Year celebrations did not disturb the thousands of migratory birds like the Rudi Seldak, that winter deer. Okay. 75. Consider the following statements regarding the arrival adjustment. Re-emphasized in Northeast legal circles in January 2026. Arrival adjustment to the Supreme Court redefined the hill as landforms rising at least 100 meters above the surrounding terrain. Any construction on such hills now requires mandatory clearance under the Forest Conservation Act. This judgment is not applicable to the six civil areas of Assam. Uh, yes, also to be correct answer. Just hills now require mandatory clearance under the Forest Conservation Act. Okay, not applicable on six civil. It applicable to hobo noare. Yes, all these are correct. All these are correct. 3D. Six civil to mane applicable hobo. 1 and 2 are correct. The Supreme Court redefined the hills as landforms rising at least 100 meters above the surrounding terrain. The surrounding terrain. Terrain 2. Supreme Court redefined the hills as landforms rising at least 100 meters above the surrounding terrain. Surrounding terrain or probably 100 meters over the hills altitude or Kothanai. Surrounding terrain or Purano, Pumirpura. Any construction on such hills now requires mandatory clearance under the Forest Conservation Act. This man is not applicable to the six hill areas of Assam to Romasen. Assam six hill area to just applicable. This is man is a universal environmental law in India and does apply to six hill areas. Yes, it is significant for Assam as it brings many elevated terrains in Karbi Anglong and Dima Hasao under stricter environmental scrutiny. It is significant for Assam as it brings many elevated terrains in Karbi Anglong and Dima Hasao under stricter environmental scrutiny. The Iris Art installation Danu, which gained attention in January 2026, is significant to Indian environmental discourse because it uses Iris art installation Danu, which gained attention in January 2026, is significant to Indian environmental discourse. Uses solar panels to generate drinking water from the air. Bapre. Iris art installation Danu. Bapre Yarote drinking water Sristiguri highlights the shared mythological and ecological links between the river Ganga and the Iris folklore. Highlights the shared mythological and ecological links between the River Ganga and the Iris folklore. Is made into the of plastic waste collected from the Brahmaputra riverbank. Itu apa? Tracks the migration patterns of birds from Europe to the northeast. Iris art installation discourse because it is significant to Indian environmental discourse because it's a solar panels though is made entirely of plastic waste collected from the Brahmaputra riverbank. That is C হ'ব লাগে C হ'ব লাগে দেই নহ'লে নাই B এইটো negative হৈ থাকিলে B is the correct answer. This Iris art installation নেকি আছিলে Iris art installation Danu is highlights the shared mythological and ecological links between River Ganga and what? River Ganga and Iris folklore. Okay, Danu is a cultural ecological project that explores the parallels between the Iris goddess of water and the Indian concept of Danu, mother of the waters of Ganga, emphasizing global water conservation. Okay, Iris water goddess, that is what Danu, yes, an Indian concept of Danu, that is Mother Ganga. Danu is a cultural ecological project that explores the parallels between the Iris goddess of water and the Indian concept of Danu, that is Mother of the waters Ganga, emphasizing global water conservation. That is it. In Assam budget 25-26, what is the significance of the 250 rupees component added to the Orunodoi 12 and 115? Okay, it is monthly internet data allowance. No, this is that is dearness allowance. This is like subsidy LPG. No, contribution towards the auto pension. No, it is incentive or mandatory health checkups. No, কোনটো আছিলে তেতিয়াহ'লে incentive data allowance for students internet data 250 নাজানো direct subsidy for LPG cooking subsidy এইটো হ'ব cylinder refills or it is a contribution toward the auto pension যোজনা no incentive for mandatory health checkup no this is B হ'ব B yes B is the correct answer. It is a dedicated subsidy for LPG cooking gas cylinder refills. As of January 2026, the Orunodoi stipend was raised to 1,500. It was 1,250 beforehand, but now it has been what I call increased to 50 rupees. This is increase specifically includes 250 subsidy to help poor families manage the cost of clean cooking fuels. Okay, now this is what which revolutionary leader from Assam is known as the Ognikubi Pierre role in Komala no So second Amal Prabha, Puspalota, Konoklota Burua. Konoklota Burua Ogni Kubi. Das Sundara second Amal Prabha das. Ogni Kubi. Oh, Ogni Koina. Ogni Koina. Sundara second. I don't know. Ogni Koina, fair role in 1942 movement. Konoklota Burua Bo. Eho. Oh, Puspalota das yesterday. Sorry. Puspalota das. কনকলতা বৰুৱা কিমান বছৰ আছিলে 17 নে 14 ইয়াৰ্ছ আছিলে তেতিয়া 17 আই থিংক 14 পাইছিলোঁ বোধহয় 14 আছিলে নেকি পাহৰিলোঁ okay no problem Puspalata Das was known as Agni Koina for her role in for her fiery role in 1942 movement Puspalata Das was a prominent Gandhian leader who led the Mritu Bahini in the Darang district. Puspalata Das. She led the Mritu Bahini as a Gandhian leader in Darang district. She is often referred to as Agni Koina for her revolutionary zeal and organizing power during the Quit India movement. The Mridangya, Gayan Bayan Mridangya, the Mridangya Gayan Bayan recently featured in the National Cultural Exchange Meet in January 2026 is a traditional performance art primarily found in which region of Assam? Mridangya Gayan Bayan. That is National Cultural Exchange Meet in January 2026. Gayan Bayan, that is Majuli Borpeta Kamrup Dima Sao. Gayan Bayan Dima Soto Hovenore. Kamrupot Swalkusito Hobonoare. Borpeta or Majuli. মৃদংগ গায়ন বায়ন মাজুলীতে হ'ব লাগে এয়ে হ'ব দে নহয় বৰপেটাতহে হৈছিলে চৰি বৰপেটাত হৈছিলে নিগেটিভ হৈ গ'ল ন The Mridangya Gayan Bayan recently featured in the National Cultural Elections Meet in January 2026 is a traditional performance art primarily found in which region of Assam that is in Borpeta. Okay, while Gayan Bayan is a staple of Neo-Vaishnavite culture across Assam, the Mridangya style is a specific traditional variation preserved and performed with great distinctiveness in the Borpeta region. Question 80 in general science, what is Ayulsat, which was launched alongside the PSLV C62 mission in January 2026. Ayulsat, Indus satellite for detecting deep sea minerals. I don't know. A satellite designed to demonstrate on-orbit refueling technology. I don't know. A weather satellite specifically for the Himalayan region, a telescope for tracking northeast near Earth asteroids. Ayulsat হ'ব পাৰে Himalayan region. এইটো হিমালয়ান ৰিজনে হ'ব চি হ'ব লাগে নহয় এইটো ৰং হৈ থাকিলে একো নাই নিগেটিভ দিয়ে থাকিম এটেম্প কৰি থাকিম Ayulsat কি আছিলে Ayulsat PSLV that is PSLV C62. Ayulsat is a satellite designed to demonstrate on-orbit refueling. Okay. On-orbit refueling technology developed by the startup of Orbit AIT Aerospace. Also, there is a revolutionary mission that tests the ability to refuel satellites while they are in orbit, which could significantly extend the lifespan of future space missions. The PSLV C62 mission, which took place in early January 2026, was primarily in the news for successful deployment. No, this was not successful. A significant setback due to an anomaly in the third stage. Yes, this is led to the loss of 16 satellites, setting a world record for the highest number of commercial satellites launched in no. The first successful on-orbit refueling demonstration by an Indian private. That is B. Yes, B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. A significant setback due to an anomaly in the third stage. Third stage led to the loss of 16 satellites. While the mission carried the historic Lasted-1 satellite, and the refueling demonstrator, refueling demonstrator, that is IOLSAT, the mission suffered a failure in its third stage. This resulted in the loss of all 16 satellites. All 16 satellites got lost, making a rare but significant hurdle for ISRO and the Northeast space aspirants. Significant hurdle for ISRO and the Northeast space aspirations. নৰ্থ ইষ্টৰ কিবা এটা কাম কৰিব গ'লে তাৰমানে চেণ্ট্ৰেলৰ ক্ষেত্ৰত কিবা এটা প্ৰব্লেম হয়েই। নৰ্থ ইষ্টক অলপ মানে ভালে নাপায় মানে, সেনেকুৱা নিচিনা ফিল হয় মোৰ, ৰেচিজম যেনেকৈ থাকে কিয়বা। সেইকাৰণেতো ৰেলৱে জববিলাকত ইংলিছ নাথাকে, কাৰণ নৰ্থ ইষ্টত ইংলিছত অলপ আগবঢ়া, আৰু ইংলিছ নাথাকা মানে ৰেলৱে জবত নৰ্থ ইষ্টৰ মানুহক ছাপোৰ্ট নকৰা হৈ যায় আৰু সেনেকৈ। With reference to the digital census 2026, consider the following statements regarding the administrative freeze in Assam. With reference to the digital census 2026, consider the following statements regarding the administrative freeze in Assam. Administrative boundaries of districts, subdivisions, and villages were frozen effective from January 1st, 2026. Digital census 2026, districts, subdivisions, villages were frozen. No. The House listing phase for the census is scheduled to begin in April 2026. Yes, this is correct. The trial run of this digital census was successfully conducted in Halagand, Dibrugarh, and Tongamukam, Karbi Anglong. The census Tongamukam, Karbi Anglong already হৈ গৈছে নেকি? Hailakandi, Dibrugarh, not possible. Not possible. There is administrative boundaries of districts, subdivisions, and villages were frozen effective from districts, subdivisions, and villages were frozen effective from January 1st, 2026. Hailakandit already since a successful conduct. এইটোতো নহয়. This is only 1 and 2. That is A. Oh, that is D. All are correct. Oh, Hailakandi, Dibrugarh, and Tongamukam, Karbi Anglong, Tongamukam already হৈ গৈছে ন? Okay, digital census 2026 administrative boundaries of districts, subdivisions, and villages were frozen effective from January 1st, 2026. The House listing phase for the census to April in April begin. Yes. The trial run for this digital census was successfully conducted in Hailakandi, Dibrugarh, and Tongamukam. All statements are correct. To ensure that accuracy, report the first ever fully digital census, all territorial changes have been halted. The trial runs in geographically diverse areas like the hills, Karbi Anglong, and plains. Dibrugarh have paved the way for the full-scale operation starting in mid 2026. Okay. In the context of Assam's economy, why has the Orthodox tea sector faced a major crisis in January 2026? Then went on tea consumption in European nations. Geopolitical disruptions in Iran, a principal export market for premium Assam Orthodox tea, the discovery of high levels of pesticide in 90% of the small tea growers' produce, a massive labor strike across all tea states in Barak Valley. As then went on tea consumption in Europe nations, geopolitical disruptions in Iran, uh, principal export principal export market for premium Assam Orthodox tea. Premium export market. Geopolitical. Yes, B to হবে লাগে. Yes, B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. This is sudden that is faced a major crisis in Zimbabwe at Orthodox tea. Geopolitical disruptions in Iran, principal export market for premium Assam Orthodox tea. Disrupt in Iran, yes. Iran is a vital market for Assam, consuming nearly 25 to 28 million kg of the 85 million kg of Orthodox tea produced annually. Regional conflicts in the Middle East in early 2026 have led to stalled shipments and declining prices, highlighting the vulnerability of Assam's tea trade to global geopolitics. Consider the following statements regarding the Mukhyamantri Jivan Prerna Scheme 25-26. Um, Graduates from government colleges in Assam are eligible for a monthly financial assistance of 2,500 for up to 1 year. Research scholars in state and central universities of Assam receive a one-time grant of 25,000. Yes, the scheme is only applicable in school students pursuing STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics courses. No, this is not. 3 is not correct. That is common 3 is even Perna. Graduate from government courses in eligible for monthly financial assistance of 2,500 for up to 1 year. Yes, 1 and 2 are correct. That is A. Yes, is the correct answer. The scheme is inclusive of all streams, not just STEM. Yes, it is a major human capital investment by the Assam government to support students during the transition from graduation to unemployment, from graduation to employment on employment. Support students transition from during the transition from graduation to employment or higher status. Okay. The Kalai second hydroelectric project, that is Lohit, that is B. 85 is B. Okay. Now 1200 megawatt Kalai second project is a run-off river project proposed in the Anju district of Arunachal Pradesh, proposed in the Anjo district of Arunachal Pradesh or the Lohit River. It is controversial due to its potential impact on the habitat of the critically endangered white-bellied heron. Yes. White-bellied heron. In January 26, the Sankal Patra 2026 portal was launched in Assam. What is its primary purpose? To allow citizens to apply for new land pattas,
No, to collect public sessions for the political manifesto of the upcoming 2026 assembly elections, to raise their grievances, to the Ornodoy 3.0 scheme to track the progress of the big city virus called Yatra in rural Assam. Sankalp Patro, flowers, land, patta, to know to collect public sessions for the political manifesto of the upcoming 2020 assembly election. Itte hobo, that is P. Bixit Bharat Sankalp Yatra. Bixit Bharat Sankalp Yatra. Sankalp Patra. That is B. B. Come on, yes, B is the correct answer in here. B is the correct answer. Sankalp Patra, yeah. To collect public sessions for the political manifesto. This is a participatory democracy initiative where citizens can directly influence policy priorities for the next government through a multi-channel feedback system. Multi-channel feedback system including QR codes and regional language portals. Okay. 87 with reference to the white-bellied heron, that is Ardria insignis white-bellied heron, which was a major point of the Kalai second hydroelectric, that is EIA. Controversy in 2026 considered following, that is world's um, second largest heron species. It is listed as critically endangered on Ocean Red List. Yes, this is correct. In India, it is primarily found in the riverine habitats of the northeast, including Namdapha Tiger Reserve. Yes, this is also 2 and 3 are correct, but it is the world's second largest heron species. I don't know this one. But 2 and 3 to correct way to into to critically endangered. It is the world's second largest heron species. Over 3 D. Yes, this is the correct answer. Second largest heron species. Plato. This is okay. Okay. This bird is extremely rare with fewer than 250 individuals left globally. Oh, left globally only 250, less than 250 individuals. Its presence in the Lohi Division makes any large-scale infrastructure project in that region a matter of hmm, matter of intense environmental scrutiny. Okay. Without the following describes the best effect often cited in January 2026 economic reviews of Assam's uh, gross state domestic product base effect, that is growth. The negative impact of high interest rates on base level occurs the distortion in current growth figures caused by an unusual low or high value in the previous year, that is base effect. No. The minimum level of industrial production required to sustain a state's economy. The effect of a climate change in the base year of calculating the consumer price index, that is distortion in growth figures caused by an unusual low or high value in the base effect is cited in January 26 economic reviews of some gross state domestic product itu paisalo pat pahorizalo mana bostuto main meaning to কি আছিলে. The effect of efficiency in the base year or for calculating the consumer price index. Base effect is that that is D. Oh, sorry, that is B. Same as syllabus to the distortion in current growth figures. Since 2024 to 25 show a significant specific economic trajectory. The 15% projected growth for 2025-26 must be analyzed through the base effect to understand if it reflects a real expansion or just a recovery from a previous dip. Distortion in current growth figures.
caused by an unusual low or high value in the previous year. The best. The Yogini Tantra. Research to heck we say kita by research nine. The Yogini Tantra a significant text for the religious history of Assam is dedicated to the worship of wish to goddess Yogini Tantra. That is Lakshmi, Saraswati, Kali, and Kamakha, Durga, and Manasha, Parvati, and Usha. I think Yogini Tantra, that is Kali and Kamakha. B. Yes, B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. The Yogini Tantra 16th century is a major source for the history of Kamakha and the evolution of Sakti cult in a region, specific detailed in the rituals and significance of goddess Kamakha. 90. In general science, what is the significance of enhanced visual assessment? Enhanced visual assessment pro technology recently introduced in the mobile cancer screening units as a van in January 2026. General science, what is the significance of the enhanced visual assessment pro technology? Enhanced visual assessment pro technology recently introduced in mobile cancer screen units as a van in Jan 2026. It uses satellite imagery to track environmental carcinogens. It is a high-resolution portable diagnostic tool for identification of cervical and oral cancers. It is a type of AI that predicts the future risk of cancer based on DNA. It is an advanced that is mammography tool that uses zero radiation satellite that is measured to track environmental carcinogens. That is cancer screening units. That is going to be like A. No, it does B. I don't negative or no. It is a high-resolution portable diagnostic tool for early detection of cervical and oral cancers. Papre, oral cancer. Detect কৰিব পাৰে নেকি? In general sense, what is the significance of the enhanced visual assessment? If pro, that is technology recently introduced in mobile cancer screening units. Mobile cancer screening units so that's there no mobile mane kurbo pare jamba gari nisina asaven into asaven ase ta asaven mobile cancer screening asa namor eta van ase asaven boli koi tok mobile cancer screening unit jan tate ki ase enhanced that is EVA Pro ase enhanced visual assessment pro it is a high resolution portable diagnostic tool for early detection of cervical and oral cancers. Okay, oral cancer, cervical and oral cancer EVA Pro, that is enhanced visual assessment. Enhanced visual assessment Pro allows for clinical grade screening in rural and remote areas, facilitating early intervention, which is crucial for improving survival rates in cancer-prone regions like Assam. Question 91. Who was conferred with the Assam Vaibhav 25? The highest civilian award for Assam for the distinguished service to the nation, that is Puravi Suikya, Lieutenant General Rana Pratap Kalita, Subramaniam Ramadorai, Dipen Bora. I found Dipen Bora in 2022. Assam Vaibhav. Puravi Suikya, Dr. Puravi Suikya, Lieutenant General retired, that is Rana Pratap Kalita. 2025 কোনে পাইছিলে সুব্ৰমণিয়াম ৰামাদৰাই ডক্টৰ পূৰবী শইকীয়া ৰাণা প্ৰতাপ কলিতা গোটেইকেইটাৰ নামেতো মই ক'ৰবাত শুনা লাগি আছে highest civilian award of Assam for his distinguished service to the nation. He is বুলি কৈছে ন তেতিয়াহ'লে পৌৰৱী শইকীয়াটো নহ'ব that is Richard Rana Pratap Kalita. That is B. Yes, B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Left, Lieutenant General retired. That is retired Rana Pratap Kalita. In 2025, the Assam government conferred the Assam Vaibhav Award upon Lieutenant General rated, that is Rana Pratap Kalita, the former commander of the Army's Eastern Command. He is the first person from Assam to hold this prestigious military position, and the award recognizes his exemplary service and contribution to national security. Okay. Lieutenant General rated Rana Pratap. Lieutenant General Rana Pratap Kalita. The National Textiles Ministers Conference 2026 was held in which city in January 2026? National Textiles Ministers Conference, Guwahati, Mumbai, Surat. National, that is Guwahati hobo. Guwahati hobo lage. Yes, Guwahati is the correct answer. Guwahati is the National Textiles Ministers Conference 2026 held in Guwahati. On January 8 to 9, 2026, Guwahati hosted the National Textiles Ministers Conference. The meet focused on the PM Mitra Pax and specific conclave titled Strengthening and Empowering the Textiles Sector of the Northeastern Region of India, aimed at making India a global textile hub by 2030. Global Textile Hub by 2030. With reference to the Assam budget 25-26, what is the projected gross state domestic product? Gross state domestic product rate for the state domestic product, that is 25-26. Gross state domestic product growth rate কিমান হৈছে? Growth rate 15%, 12.2%. State domestic product, that is 15%. C হ'ব লাগে. Yes, C is the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Okay, মই এইটো নাজানো বাট অনুমান কৰি কিনে কৈছোঁ. According to the budget analysis, Assam's gross state domestic product for 25-26 at current prices is projected to be 7,41,626 crore, making a robust 15% growth over the previous year. This high growth rate reflects the state's aggressive infrastructure and capital expenditure push. 94. Consider the following peers of Assam Suraf 2025 awardees and their peers. Assam Suraf. Dr. Puravisakya Science and Research Assam Suraf paisino. Dipen Burwa Art and Music. Uma Setri Sports. All this correct. All of this should be correct. Puravi Suikya, Science and Research hobo no, Dipen Burwa Art and Music, Uma Setri Cricket ito hobo Assam Suraf gotekite paisile bota. So all three, that is C. Yes, all three were correct. All three are correct. Dr. Puravi Suikya, scientist, Dipin Barua, playback singer, and Uma Setri, the first woman cricketer from Assam to play for the senior Indian team, were all recipients of the Assam Suraf, the state's second highest civilian honor, after Assam Vaibhav in the 2025 cycle. The Gyanesh Kumar Commission, Civil Election Commissioner, no? Gyanesh Kumar Commission, January 2026 is associated with which of the following reforming the tea industry wages? Leading the International Institute for Democracy and Election Management Conference, Democracy and Election Management Conference, investigating the 25th flood damages, assessing the status of ST
Status for 6 communities. Oh ho ho ho. Ganesh Kumar. এইটো ষ্টেডি ষ্টেটাছৰ কাৰণে হৈছে বাৰু গণেশ কুমাৰ Jan 2026 না এইটোতো গণেশ কুমাৰটোতো ইলেকশ্যন কমিশ্যনৰ ইলেকশ্যন মেনেজমেণ্টৰহে হ'ব লাগে ইণ্টাৰনেশ্যনেল ইনষ্টিটিউট ফৰ ডেম'ক্ৰেচি আহা এইটো দিয়ে হ'ব দি চৰি এইটো সেইটোৱে হয় মানে ইলেকশ্যন ৰিলেটেড হয় ন Ganesh Kumar Commission there is leading the International Institute for Democracy and Election Management Conference to 6 কি তো দৰকাৰে নাই প্ৰেচিডেণ্টে কিবা এটা কলেজিয়াম বনাই কিনে বনাই দিব আৰু leading the International Institute for Democracy and Election Management International Institute for Democracy. Okay, in explanation, there is Chief Election Commissioner Sri Ganesh Kumar led the 2026 conference in New Delhi, focusing the focusing on democracy for an inclusive, peaceful, resilient, and sustainable world. Reflecting India's role as share of the election, share of the international idea for 2026. In the context of public health in Assam, January 2026, what does the term MMR refer to in the context of the latest Niti Aayog reports? MMR, monthly mortality ratio, maternal, that is mortality ratio, mandatory medical records, malnutrition management rate, mandatory medical records. Public health or what is this MMR refer? Public health record or no? Public health monthly mortality rate ratio, maternal mortality ratio, that is mandatory medical records. It is here. Maternal mortality ratio to chromatically. Maternal mortality ratio here. That is MMR means maternal mortality ratio. Assam has historically had a high maternal mortality ratio, number of maternal deaths per 1 lakh live births. Reports in early 2026 indicate that through schemes like Anandaram Burwa and Urnodoy, Assam is recording its lowest maternal mortality ratio ever, though gaps in rural healthcare remain a challenge. Okay. The Hati Bandhu NGO, which received the Assam Guru Award in 2025, is primarily known for building schools in Karbenglong, wildlife conservation, specifically mitigating human-elephant conflict, promoting organic farming in Majuli, preserving the traditional bell metal crop. Itu Hati Bandhu NGO to wildlife conservation, specifically mitigating human-elephant conflict. Itu B হ'ব. Yeah, B হ'ব. B is the correct answer. Wildlife conservation, specifically mitigating human-elephant conflict. Okay. Hati Bandhu based in Nagaon. Nagaon আছে ন Nagaon ধৰি কৰিছিলে এইটো NGO টো non-governmental organization. There is Hati Bandhu works at the grassroots to create fodder plantations for wild elephants, preventing them from entering villages. Their community-based model was recognized with the Assam Group Award. Okay, community-based model was fodder plantation কৰিছিলে ন for elephants, preventing them from entering into the village. Preventing them from entering villages. Okay.
Okay, now comes 98 number question. Which of the following describes green budgeting concept highlighting in the 25th, 26th Assam budget? Green budgeting, a budget that allocates funds only to the agricultural department, a process where the environmental impacts of every fiscal policy is assessed and publicized. A budget that is printed on recycled green paper. No, this is C2 winner a mandatory 10% tax on all plastic producing industries. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. A mandatory 10% tax. Mm-hmm. I don't know when or a process where the environmental impact of every fiscal policy is assessed. A budget that allocates funds only to the agriculture department. Environment impact of every fiscal policy is assessed. Kuntu the green budgeting. Fiscal policies assessed and publicized. That is Kuntu. Concept highlights 2026 budget fund only to the agricultural improvement. The budget that allocates funds. Mhm. Environment, that is B. B, yes, B is the correct answer. A process with the environmental impact of every fiscal policy is assessed and publicized. Every fiscal policy is assessed and publicized. That is impact. Process environmental impact. Environmental impact. Assam is among the few Indian states to adopt green budgeting, ensuring that state expenditures allow with sustainable development goals, and climate change mitigation. Okay, question number 99. The Viksit Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue held in Golaghat in December 25, 20 and January 26, 20, December 25 to January 26. M2, that is Viksit Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue. Recruit youth for the state police force. Viksit Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue. Involve youth in vision of making India a developed nation by 2047. Distribute free laptops. Train rural youth in traditional Muga weaving. Young Leaders Dialogue. Itu B hobo B. Yes, B is the correct answer. This is B. Involve youth in Big City Bharat Young Leaders Dialogue. Involve in youth in the vision of making India a developed nation by 2047. As part of the Big City Bharat, the 2047 mission, these dialogues are organized to channel the aspirations and ideas of young leaders towards national development. Okay. Last question, 100 number. Last question in general science. What is the ASA1O? That is mobile cancer unit cancer treatment unit something like that. ASA1, which was launched as a mobile diagnostic unit for cancer in early 2026. A mobile library, no mobile unit for early detection of multiple cancers, including throat, cervical, and oral disease. B. Okay, B is the answer. So this is over. Motor unit for early detection of multiple cancers. The ASA1 is equipped with high-tech diagnostic tools like Eva Pro. Eva Pro means what does it? Evaluation assessment. Expensive visual assessment pro and mammography machines to take cancer screening to remote villages or cancer screening to remote villages, supporting the goal of health for all. Okay, exam is over now. Time to count the marks. প্রথমতে নেগেটিভ গুণিলো 1 2 3 3 ओके 4 5 ছয় সাত আট ন 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 18.5 negative and correct 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 21 22 23 24 25 28 29 30 31 32 33 34 35 36 37 38 39 40 41 42 62 correct হৈছে 62 correct হলে কিমান 4 4 দুগুণ 12 124 2 দুগুণ 4 6 দুগুণ 12 124 পৰা যদি 18 যায় 18.5 কিমান হ'ব ন এটা থাকিলে 5 13 ইয়াতে 5 থাকিল ইয়াতে কিমান থাকিল 13 13 পৰা আড গ'লে 5 আৰু এপিনে কিমান থাকিলে ইয়াতে 11 11 পৰা ইয়াতে কিমান থাকিলে তে 11 বলে 10 কিমান থাকিলে ইয়াতে 12 আছিলে ন ইয়াতে 11 থাকিব 11 পৰা 1 গ'লে ইয়াতে 10 থাকিলে so score 105 মোৰ এইটো কিমান নম্বৰ আছিলে এইটো টেষ্ট নম্বৰ 7 ত কিমান হ'ল মোৰ মাৰ্কস স্কোৰ x 105.5 out of 200 okay thank you for watching the video